feed these hungry Linux gamers, Steam Deck fans. Hello viewers, mornings, another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work, health and strength is good, or excellent. What? Alright, okay, you Linux Mint fans, got some news for you. Says here, Linux Mint 22 beta is almost here as ISO testing gets underway. Says in the past, Conical pushed out Ubuntu in April and October, and Linux Mint release would follow just a month later, usually in May and November. However, Linux Mint 22 cycle has been slower, likely due to the wait for Cinnamon 6.2, which got released recently. This is a primary desktop environment for Linux Mint. According to Linux Mint community website ISO image page, the Mint 22 Cinnamon edition, the Mint 22 Cinnamon edition ISO began testing 17 hours ago and is still being tested. Provided that this test pass, we should see a few other spins be tested, and a couple of days later the beta should be released. The beta testing will go on for a couple of weeks for bugs to be found. A final release is made available. Linux Mint 22 is a new major version of Mint. The last version was 21.3, and the base Ubuntu 22.4 LTS, which is now 2 years old. Linux Mint 22 switches to Ubuntu 24.4 LTS as its base, so should features newer software package. This version, along with successive points release every 6 months, will be supported 5 years until 2029. Yeah, Linux Mint users have a reputation for distros hopping frequently, but if you've got to that stage now and just want to settle on one distro and actually be productive, then Linux Mint is a great choice because of how long each version is supported for. When the beta gets released in the next week or so, we should have a list of new features to share with you directly from Linux Mint team. There will be download links in case you decide to try out the beta on your machine. However, it's probably best to only install it on secondary machines in case there are any serious bugs. As mentioned before, the final release usually arrives after 2 weeks of beta testing. Yeah, so 2029. Let's see, where is this? Yeah, Linux Mint support 2029. And what they're saying here is, like, if you want to test it out, remember I always tell you, when it comes to these operating systems, you need 2 computers, and this is where that scenario will come in. You will have one running the like the last version of Linux Mint, but the beta, you would install that on a separate machine and then give it a go and see what you think. And while you're doing that, wait for the full release of all the features in the days and weeks to come. So yeah, this is why I always tell you, when it comes to these operating systems, you need two computers, 2 or 3 at max. I mean, for starters, because you want to, when things, when things happen, you're prepared. You might have one computer using Ubuntu, or one using Debian, or Fedora, whatever Linux operating system you're using, or distro, and the other, probably running the probably running the latest, and that way you're like, you have both base covered. Yeah. But other than that, man, Linux Mint is moving right along, and the community is testing it out right now, and they, whatever they find, they'll let the world know. That's for sure. So let's see. This one will be based on 24.4. Yeah, supports on. It's gonna get support until it will get support until 2029. So yeah, that should make you Linux fans happy. Yeah. Anything else? Like Ubuntu, like when they come out with like different versions of Ubuntu, they always get like a 5-year support, 4-year support, and then they move on to the next one. Yeah. And when there's a newer version like of Linux, your operating system will ask you, do you want to upgrade to the next version? You know, so yeah. Keeps you up to date. That's one thing I love about Linux. Yeah. But other than that, man, you guys, you're good. See, 17. Okay, what else? Linux Mint 2 years old. Mint 22 switches to 24.4 LTS as its base. Okay. Since 24.4, if it switches to 24.4 as its base, because 24.4 for Ubuntu is a newer version. Okay, so that means whatever updates 24.4 gets, then it helps out Linux Mint. Anyway, it says here, let's see, this version, along with successive point release every 6 months, will be supported for 5 years until 2029. So you Linux Mint users, you're good. Then it says Linux users have a reputation for distro hopping. Oh, they're talking about like when like, you know, like when you got like different versions of Linux. You know, like you might have one computer running Fedora, another run Debian, another one probably running Puppy Linux, the other one running Ubuntu. Yeah, that's what you mean by distro hopping. So, because if you go on Amazon, they're like the Linux operating system, they're like $10, by like $10 or so. So, you know, there's like different versions of them, and you can get a bunch of them, and then install them on different computers and try them out and see what you like, and you know what you like, what you don't like, which one's your favorite, and then go on from there. So yeah. Distro hopping. Yeah. Wait a minute till I get it. Oh. I think they talking about me here. Let's see here. See what I got. They talking about okay, Slackware, Ubuntu, let's see, what's Slackware, Ubuntu, Debian, Puppy Linux. Oh yeah, Linux Mint, Fedora, XFCE. yeah. We're known for that. So we just try them out, you know. And but I mean some of us like myself, we like all of them, you know, because we get to use them. But yeah, but we don't. I mean, some of them might be hopping all over the place, but we just try them out just to see how, what the features look like, what they what they come with, but they're fun to use them. Yeah. So they talking about me though, and other people that use Linux. But anyway, yeah. But it's a good way, man, to get like to get involved with Linux. Have different computers running different versions. It would be the same thing like if you're doing Windows. Have different, like you have a computer running Windows 11, another one running Windows 10, another one running Windows 8.1 or 7. The same thing goes for Apple. You have different computers running different versions. It's not distro hopping. It's just you're trying to keep up with the times. So when updates are happening, you're up to date. Your computers are up to date. This is why I was telling people, when it comes to these computers, you need 2 or 3, or even if you can get more, but you need 2 or 3, so you can keep up with the times, because information is always moving. So yeah. But other than that, man, you Linux gamers, you Linux community, you're good. Yeah, distro hopping. There's always a new distro coming. In the Linux community, there's always a new one coming. So yeah, they have a variety to choose from. But with all those with all those distros comes a lot of work, because you got to keep them up to date, because you have a user base that's using you have a user base that's using that distro. Like, say, okay, you might have 100,000 people using Slackware, or you might get another 100,000 using Ubuntu, and another 100,000 using Debian, and another 100,000 using Puppy Linux. What's this one? What's this? There's a whole bunch on here. But anyway, you might have another 100,000 using Linux Mint, and another 100,000 using XFCE. So yeah, you got with all those distros comes there's a lot of work involved to maintain them and keep them up to date, and keeping up with the times. So yeah. I mean, it gives the Linux community more jobs. Jobs, that's for sure. But there's a lot of work that goes with these distros, So yeah, and sometimes people use a lot of distros, use a lot of Linux Mint's distros, because they might want to do system administration, networking. They might love the networking field, and they got different distros running on different machines doing different stuff. So yeah. So anyway, man, but other than that, man, yeah, that's the Linux community for you. And the same goes for Windows too. They're not exempt. Windows is not squeaky clean. People that run like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, and Windows 11, they're into system administration too, networking. The same goes for Apple. So yeah, that's why some people have different distros, because they love the networking feel of our computers. So yeah, some might do it as a profession, some might do it as a hobby, but they enjoy it. In a nutshell. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars, started by Dark Section. Go. Peace.